You're not talking to them frequently enough to be a part of their life. You just somebody that's checking in.
It's not the right time. You say the timing is perfect. You want me to temporary. For you on you with me. You want me to lie. Say no, you want me to stay. Doing the most.
Thank y'all for tuning in. In this video, it's gonna be a girl talk about something that I just really gotta speak on. You know, this is something that I have been seeing a lot of, and I want to set the record straight. So I've been seeing videos basically of, you know, friends posting that, hey, you know, shout out to the friend that I haven't talked to in 3 years, 2 months, 5 weeks, you know, we still locked in. I want to point out how unhealthy this thought process is.
Mind you, we the same people that will sit down and say, you know, if you knew me a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, you don't know me now.
Yet, in friendships, it seems to be okay to not talk to your friends as frequently. Let me pause by saying, you know, I used to be this person. I used to be the friend that, you know what, you're not gonna hear from me every day, every week. But, you know, when we do connect, you know, it's genuine, it's love, and, you know,
Ain't shit changed. But as I've grown and as I've learned, I realize how detrimental that is for a friendship.
I used to think that, you know, it's some friends that like to talk every day, and it's also some friends that you won't hear from that much, and it's just based on that type of person, which I do feel like there is some truth about that. You know, there are friends that like to talk every day, and I will still say I'm not a friend that maybe will talk every day, but every other day, every 2 days, I am becoming that friend. You know, I feel like first off, we need to realize, like, just because we've done something this way for this long doesn't mean that once we are aware of it, we can't change it. You know, I am now aware of the error of my ways as a friend when I was thinking that me hitting them up every once a month was good enough. Think about it this way, like, every day we are all living our own lives. You know, I understand that. And that was something that I used to really, you know, believe.
I don't want to talk to my friends every day. Like, I don't have time for that. You know, we don't have nothing to talk about. Like,
I was that person that really stood on, hey, not talking to people that often because, you know, sometimes maybe I didn't want to bother them. I don't want to be bothered, you know, and back then I thought it was nothing wrong. But how I realized it was something wrong, when you say somebody's your best friend, you basically saying that this friendship is very important to you. This is very valuable. This bond is very important. However, you're also saying this, but you're not showing that in actions. You know, in words, I'm saying that this person is my best friend, but in actions, I'm not hitting them up but once a month, once every other month. Mind you, I also have brothers, and they have had friendships that they have carried, you know, since high school, and they will literally say that, hey, I talk to my friend once a week. Like, if we don't hear from each other every week, we gonna do a quick check-in. And that's something that I had not been doing. You know, that was something that I didn't think was necessary, because I felt like, okay, if my friend know the love is there, they know that not hearing from me doesn't mean that I don't care about them, but it does. I'm sorry to tell you, it does. Like, we really do make time for the things that we care about. We understand that to hold on to something that we value, you have to put effort in it. And I feel like friendships are not exempt from that. You know, you thinking that calling your friend every 2 months is sufficient, every month is sufficient, I'm here to tell you that it is not.
Once I set the boundary with my friends that, hey, I don't want to talk every day, they respected it. They didn't hit me up all the time.
You know, a lot of the times I was in my own world dealing with my own things, and it was hard because it's like when you are in isolation, it is just you. You do feel alone. You do feel like you don't have anybody, even though you have a community. That's the thing that you not talking to your friends will make you feel. You will feel that you don't have community, you don't have support, you don't have people that are with you. Even though you do, it's not being utilized.
So after my brothers let me know that they hear from their friends every week, like every couple days they will hit each other, check in with each other, I knew that what I had been doing, hitting my friends up once a month, every other month, was not sufficient. Like, I knew that there was a problem there. And I had already noticed that there were problems. I won't say problems in a relationship, but I did notice that there was distance.
Because think about it, like, you are claiming somebody to be your friend, but you ain't talked to them in 3 weeks. You know, a lot can happen in 3 weeks. You know, we are changing every day. You know, there are things that are happening every day, things we go through. And it's like, if you are having a friend that you only talking to every month, every other month, when shit really go down, like, you're not gonna feel comfortable to hit that same friend up because, hey, we haven't been talking. They don't even know how I even got to this point. You know, so much has happened since 3 weeks, a month since we done talked to each other. I would have to give them the full rundown to even vent to them and let them know what I'm going through. And to me, that is not what you want as a friend. I'm learning that I need to be the friend that I would want. I wouldn't want a friend that, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, you know, I be going through things and I feel like I handle them best alone. But when you do have community, you need to utilize it. You have the community, if you have people around you that love you and value you and will pour into you, it is your duty to utilize it. It is not on you to feel like, hey, I gotta go through everything alone. I will be the first to say that, you know what, I am a person that does isolate to gather my thoughts. But to a certain extent, you have to be willing to reach out to your friends, check on them, and make sure that the line of communication is always open. You know, to me, I don't feel like a line of communication is 100% open when y'all only hearing from each other once a month. We want to make sure that we have an open line of communication at all times. If it happens with my friend or she's going through something, I don't want her to ever feel like there is a friction or there is a reason to not hit me up. You know, of course, we don't tell our friends everything, but I don't want it to feel like, damn, I haven't hit this girl up in 3 weeks and now I'm going through something. Like, why would I hit you up now? And I ain't been talking to you. And I feel like the more that we operate in this way, the further, you know, distance we have within that relationship, because ultimately we are missing out on each other's lives. I don't know what she's going through. I don't know how she feels. I don't know. You know, I don't know a lot. And to me, whenever you check in with your homegirl, you know, a month later, it's like within that month that we are, you know, within that month, that check-in, I'm only getting a shorter version of what really happened. So much that really happened that, you know, she don't even remember to tell me. You know, all the small details are getting left out.
Hey, like, I talked to you a month ago. I don't remember what I told you then, where I was in life a month ago. You know, I forgot some of the stuff that I probably should have told you about, but it's like, it's so much time and distance within this relationship. For one, I don't feel comfortable with being vulnerable with you. Two, you know, it's a lot for me to tell you and recap everything from a month.
It would be different if it was like, hey, I talked to you 2 days ago. I can recap that, but out of a month, you definitely gonna miss some important details about what happened with your friend. And I feel like if you pride yourself on saying that you friends with somebody, you have to take the effort to actually be a friend.
Being a friend is, hey girl, how you doing? I haven't heard from you. I hope everything's going good with you. And this is something that you need to be doing every 2-3 days. Like, I'm not saying, hey, talk every day all day, but I am saying, hey, we need to be touching bases every 2-3 days. If not,
hey, 1 or 2 times a week. What's going on with you? I know we can. How can I say you my friend, but it's like I don't talk to you. We don't communicate. This girl twice a month. Like, be for real. Be for real. Yes, the love is there. Yes, the respect is there. But a friend is an action. If you're saying you're a friend to somebody, that's an action. I'm a friend. I'm your friend. That means that's action. If I'm going to say I'm your friend, I want you to feel open and comfortable with communicating with me. I don't want you to feel that, hey, she don't want to be bothered, because what that really stemmed from for me was me not wanting to bother anybody else. You know, I grew up in a household where I was the oldest child and I was the only girl. So a lot of things that I dealt with, you know, I dealt with alone. You know, I dealt with personally. And, you know, I always had the feeling of, you know, I don't want to bother anybody. Like, what if I'm calling them and they don't want to talk to me? Like, you know, it's just that feeling of unworthiness. That's where it all stems from. You know, you not wanting to bother anybody and you just wanting to isolate yourself even though you have support. That is something that stems from childhood. That stems from how you used to cope previously in your past, and that you necessarily need in this present moment. In this present moment, yes, there is a certain isolation needed to be able to accomplish your goals and do what you need to do, but there's also balance that is needed when you have a community. I feel like that's one of the most important things that a human needs is community. You know, a lot of times we are in these relationships with people that we know we need to leave, but we don't, out of fear of being alone. However, if we have a community, we have friends that love us, we know that what I'm focused on right now is not working. I have something else that is a stable foundation for me. I truly do believe having that community will allow you to operate at your highest self and not from a place of desperation and lack. Think about it. Like, if I am in a relationship that's not serving me, with somebody that's disrespecting me, it's a lot easier for me to leave knowing that I have a friendship and a community behind me that is going to pour into me and lift me up, versus me feeling like, hey, I have friends behind me, but we don't even communicate enough to really say that that's a community. You know, they just there. I literally said, you know, if I'm a friend to her, she's a friend to me.
If I'm a friend to her, she's a friend to me.
Like, if I am a friend to her, then that means that it's also okay to allow her to be a friend to me.
It's okay to, hey, I got to vent with my homegirl sometimes. It's okay to include your friends on your life, because you don't want to look up years down the line, you've been calling somebody your friend and you don't know nothing about them. You only know what's on the surface, which is what everybody else knows. Like, a friend is supposed to be a confidant, somebody that you are in close proximity to, which there's no way you can be if you're not communicating with them frequently enough to even know what they feel, how they think, what's going on with them. That's how you feel alone. You know, that's how you feel desperate. That's how you feel, you know, the need to hold on to things that don't serve you, because you don't feel like you have anything else that is sustainable or anything that is providing you a sense of value. Sometimes I'm not feeling my best, but my girl, she might hit me up and I'm gonna get through this. And you know what? I feel much better now. Like, my homegirl, she could be having a bad day, her nigga acting a fool, and I'm gonna be that friend to let her know, like, you know what, at the end of the day, bitch, you're gonna be good with or without. You know, you are beautiful. You are pouring into her, and that's what friendship is really. It really is. It's not for you to be friends with somebody just when shit is good and everything is hunky and dory. No, a friend is there when you are at your lowest and you need a little encouragement. And it's hard to feel that vulnerability to get that encouragement from somebody when y'all are not even communicating. I remember a time where I was still this friend that didn't want to communicate often, but I had one friend that she would still hit me up every week. She would check in on me. Sometimes I didn't respond, sometimes I did, but that really showed me the dedication that she had to our friendship, because even though I wasn't in a place where I feel like I could be there for her, she still was there for me. And it made me feel powerful to know that, you know, I have people with me. I have people behind me that love me, that will pour into me, that do see me and understand me, even though I was not even allowing myself to be understood. That's why I say, you know, for you to say you this type of person, really think back, you know, when you started being that way. Why do you feel like you don't want people that are around you? Why do you feel that you can't be vulnerable with them? Why do you feel alone? And it's a lot of times because we're not even allowing ourselves to build these connections and build these bonds enough to be vulnerable. Because I will say this, you know, we love these men, and when it comes to these men, we will do our utmost to sustain a relationship. Like, if this nigga like FaceTime once a night, we gonna try to accommodate, you know, we try to accommodate things that we want, that we see value in. So if you see value in friendship and community, then what actions are you taking to sustain that?
Say, hey, we don't have time, but you had time to talk to that nigga though. Seriously, you say that you don't have the energy, but you had the energy to argue with that nigga for 2 hours straight. You don't have 15 minutes for your homegirl?
Hey girl, what's going on with you?
And honestly, that's gonna build a bond and build a connection within you both. Now I feel like, hey, I can call my homegirl about anything, because bitch, we just talked to, giving her the update. Like, damn, you talking to a person once a month, it can be anxiety there, even if it's your friend, because like, you changing every day. You don't know how they feel about you, how you feel about them. It's been a month. Versus I'm talking to this girl every couple days. I know we not beefing. I know there's no friction between us, because we talking, and if it was, she would have let it be known. Ain't no way we talking this often and everything is not being laid out on the table. I just wanted to offer a different perspective for those people that feel like, hey, I don't want to talk to my, because y'all, I have to say this, we find time to be on social media.
You say you don't got that time? What is your screen time saying? What is the average? Is it 7 hours a day, which I'm sure is most of people? You don't, your phone 7 hours a day, but you don't got 15 minutes to invest in a friendship that you find value in? What, like, let's be real, okay?
So yes, this video, I really just wanted to offer a different perspective to those friends that feel like, hey, I don't need to talk to you, but we still cool.
You're not talking to them frequently enough to be a part of their life. You just somebody that's checking in.
There are people that are married with kids and they find time for their friends. You not married, you ain't got no kids. I'm playing, like, I don't know if you married or you have kids, but when you really want something, you make time for the things that you really want. Don't they say that? You make time for the things that you really want. And I feel like wanting community and wanting to be poured into or pour into others has to be something that you put on a high priority in your life. And as you do it, you will see the change in the friendships and you and yourself. Because it's like me pouring into that friendship was really just a reflection of me pouring back into myself. You know, I'm watering something that's watering me. So yes, that's really all I wanted to say. Like, hey, if you that friend that feel like you don't need to talk to your friends, I'm here to tell you that you need to. And I'm here to also tell you that once you start talking to them more, you're going to see the difference in y'all friendship. Y'all for tuning into this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm open to hear everybody's perspective on this. Again, regardless of the type of person that you are, you can change any day. Okay?